I graduated cum laude from the VU University. I have all the credentials, but I've been living like this for over 15 years. This is a statement. On 9 June 2008, I became the target of a sadistic network of people, including lots of hackers. And that's apparently run by Stephen Howard and his hacker brother Charles Howard. They made my life a living hell. This is still going on. All the other things that you run into, such as the relentless abuse in Permanence, the gerontophobia there, the idea that anyone who's 55 is supposed to be dead, comes on top of that. I have been the target of sadistic abuse, coercive control. I used to call it sadistic slavery since 9 June 2008. It got really out of hand in 2010 when I needed to survive on acorns that I found on the street and so on. I have filed numerous police reports. I have asked numerous people for help, also for help with understanding what the fuck this was. It's called sadistic stalking, but this is done by a network that's new. There is not enough knowledge about what the internet age, what technology makes possible. When I type on this phone an email, the email goes down. When I typed on my site, my page would jump up and down. Whenever I had work from clients, I was self-employed for a long time. There was always stuff going on with when after this started, just to sabotage me to death. My personal life was sabotaged to death. Whenever I tried to, meet someone for coffee or stuff like that, I was always sabotaged to death. When I wanted to join a choir or go to an event somewhere, that was always sabotaged to death. All my phones, anything I had was always hacked to death because my locks were picked for a long time. I know the first time that I am aware that it happened was in 2010 in Southsea, but at my next address, I wasn't aware that it was happening until 2015. I did notice weird things, but I didn't have any evidence yet. And that my locks were getting picked in 2010. I talked with police about things that happened, and it didn't occur to them either that somebody could simply be picking my locks. Whenever I wanted to have a few hours of my own, I would have to dash out of town, not do any web searches related to it, not pay by card, but pay cash, buy a train ticket and go to a place, and then I might be able to use cash also to buy a new phone there that I would have to keep hidden, the battery out of it, never use it in the home or around the home, etc., etc. Otherwise, that would get detected again and messed with again. At some point, I discovered a mezzanine in a Starbucks with a mezzanine in Portsmouth, and I used that for a while to remain hidden. But then somebody who works there also turned out to be part of that gang. That sounds crazy, I know, but I've been told I have blood cancer, and there's been a lot of shit. There's a page about this on my website. Anna Marie Clark was a person who was logged in that day who, no, is the name of there is a person who was logged in as Anna Marie Clark at my GP's office. She doesn't work there anymore. Whether it was that person, Anna Marie Clark, or whether she was using somebody else's ID, I don't know. But she is really nasty. She tried to make me believe I had blood cancer. Yeah. People have tried to talk me into suicide. It's been really nasty. And it's only now, here in the Netherlands, I see news about this sort of stuff going on. I haven't seen it in England at all yet. You're not believed. Nobody believes you. Your friends think you're crazy. Your colleagues think you're crazy because it sounds crazy. I've been in a sadistic abuse, coercive control, sabotage, whatever you want to call it, sadistic slavery situation for nearly 2 decades, and I want out. I used to keep lots of pills in my home as my security blanket. If I couldn't do it anymore, then that's what I would do. And I had picked a spot in the marshes somewhere where I was going to do that so that people wouldn't find me in time. That is the only solution you have, to commit suicide, because nobody helps you. Nobody helps you. And I particularly am very angry with Suzanne Hulscher, who herself got trapped in a cult in Canada, got drugged and abducted into a cult. Bloody hell. She, of all people, should have stopped up for me, but she didn't. She just turned around because she just uses people. I will never, ever forgive Suzanne Hulscher, whether I'm going to die soon or not. I will never, never forgive her, because she is the only one in my surroundings who had been through something somewhat similar. She should have supported me. She should have supported me. And she didn't. I'm never going to forgive her. And another person who I'm never going to forgive is Robert Gerald Van Cortlandt Farron Jackson, because I begged him for help so many times. I literally begged him. And to force him to listen to me, I even told him that I was going to kill people if the abuse didn't stop. He's just a giant bigot. He doesn't deserve to live, frankly. He doesn't deserve to live. He's nasty. So here I am. I've been like this for over a year. I was doing okay, but then whatever hit again, and I can't support myself. I can't eat anymore. There's absolutely nothing I can still do other than kill myself. And if I end up committing suicide, then the blame goes to Suzanne Hulscher and Gerald Vernon Jackson, squarely. And police in Portsmouth, but hey, police is the same everywhere. You don't go to the police anymore. Police in the Netherlands know about my situation too. There's no such thing as stalking. There's only stupid women who make up stuff. Yeah, thank you very much. I often feel that a lot of people have let me down, who've probably tried to reach me and can't reach me because my phones are hacked to pieces. I very often couldn't reach a soul. I often ended up on a mirror because I wasn't in a network, and I very often, I did manage to get myself off that network. So yeah, I had proof, I had evidence, I had trace routes, but you can't take it to the police because police don't know what it is. They have absolutely no IT knowledge at all, and they think that the world is a fairy tale place. Except their own world. They think that the world is a fairy tale place for everyone else. I am lying in the dust here, in this soil. I'm cold. I can't eat. I have no way of making money anymore. I have no way of doing anything at all anymore. The only option out, as it was in Portsmouth for so long, is suicide. I made 5 escape attempts from Portsmouth. I made 5 escape attempts. I made 2 attempts in... You could say that my first attempt was my suicide attempt in 2010. I didn't want to die. I wanted out. In 2017, I made 2 escape attempts. In 2018, I made 2 escape attempts. In 2017, the first attempt, a police officer called Nikki, intercepted me and took me back to my place because she said, I can take you to a motel, but I had 0 cash. I had absolutely no money. I hadn't been able to support myself since I moved to Portsmouth, so that was not an option. The next step I took was to go to a guy who said that I could live at his place. He had a spare room for roughly half a year, register there because at Christmas his girlfriend was coming over from Liberia. When I got to his place, he'd completely forgotten about it. He had severe memory problems. I didn't know that. He had also the same year reported me missing to the police here in Amsterdam because he kept asking me the same question by email and then forgetting that I had already responded. I thought that that was hacking interference, but it wasn't. This guy was just becoming completely dysfunctional cognitively, and he is autistic, so he happens to mask very well, and he can also mask this cognitive decline very well. I don't think that, I don't know whether anyone else is aware of it. I know that Hank said that he called him verstoid or something, so Hank may have caught on in the meantime. But perhaps his first wife, I don't know. I had to borrow money to go back to my prison in Portsmouth. I had to borrow money from two people just to be able to go back to my prison in Portsmouth because I didn't want to be homeless. I didn't want to be homeless, people. I've been homeless for a long time now, literally homeless. Nobody helps you. Nobody helps you. Absolutely fucking nobody helps you. Nobody helps you. They all vilify you and demonize you and abuse you. Nobody helps you. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. In 2018, again, I walked out with my suitcase broke and I spent the night in the bushes somewhere. What I would do is I would walk out with my suitcases, planning to walk to Dover and beg someone for a lift out of the country there. I would have been homeless but I needed my life back. I wanted out. I wanted out. I wanted out. I wanted my life back. I wanted my life back. I was a professional. I had my own small business. I wasn't making tons, but I was having a life. I wanted my life back, and nobody wanted to help me. Nobody. In 2018, I left again and ended up with a guy who was basically a narcissist, and I became scared of him. He was accusing me of all sorts of weird shit, such as walking dogs for free. I have no idea where he got that from. I got out of there as soon as I could and went back to my prison in Portsmouth. I was going to go to Paris and work at a hotel there, clean toilets, anything for which you don't need an online presence to survive. Then the terrorist attack hit just when I was planning that. And then the pandemic hit, and so on and so forth. And I spit on everyone who's refused to help me. I hate you. I'm gonna hate you forever and ever, even after I've died. I'm gonna hate you. I'm gonna keep hating you, and I'm never gonna stop hating you. Nobody wanted to help me, except Astrid. She was stalked herself. She was stalked by someone who had tried to kill her. Astrid was the only one who believed me, but who also had to withdraw, and eventually it became too much for her. I can understand that, because it was way too much for any human being to have to deal with for nearly 2 decades.